Let's hit something, world. This is AJ with tips and tricks. Snare drum tuning is one of those topics that if you ask 20 people, you get 22 different responses. Tuning has many variables, materials, wood type, mahogany, maple, birch, babinga, oak, or basswood, metal type, aluminum, brass or steel, or acrylic, barren edge angle on the top and bottom, thickness of the shell, batter head selection, coated or clear, single ply or double ply, resonant head selection, snare selection, steel or brass, and snare strand count 12, 14, 16, 20, 24, or 30. I use a 14 by 5.5 inch acrylic snare with a half-inch thick shell from RCI Starlight drums. I find that it's conducive for a sharp, tight sound like Stuart Copeland of the Police. Sticking with the clear theme, I used an Aquarian Response 2 clear head with a power dot on the batter side and a classic clear snare side for the resonant head. And I have the stock Pure Sound 20 strand steel snares. My approach to tuning is usually crank the snot out of it and play, but we'll see if we can get a wider range of tones out of this beast for you today. We want to remove the old heads and clear the barren edges. Next, we want to seat the head, replace the hoop, and finger tighten the tension rods. Next, we want to tune to an audible pitch, progressing around the tension rods in a structured and repeatable order. I always start to the right of the logo head, and I always put the logo head in the same spot because it gives me a consistent starting and ending spot. I work at quarter turn intervals on the tension rods so I don't miss that exact sweet spot that I like to use. Alright everyone, everything is all set up and ready to go except for the cymbals and the microphones, but those are coming up in a future episode anyways. We're talking about the snare drum and how I go about tuning mine. Unfortunately, last episode crapped out on me, and all you're left with is the last part of it. And unfortunately, it's the crank the crap out of it and play tuning. So this is what you're left with. Remember that tuning the top and bottom heads differently will actually bend the tone. I like to keep track of how I tune the top head so I can match it on the bottom to reduce that wow factor. Just remember, whatever you do on the top, do to the bottom as well. Thanks for watching. Next Tuesday we'll talk about how to tune your mounted toms. Until then, live right, drum well, and have fun. I'm AJ Nystrom, and I'll see you next week.